I guess we'll start with just an overview as we let Container Ride play through from Swagatron. And this will be the start to the commentary, the Release Portals run that was just released about a week ago.
Yes, so we're obviously here with Proculus. Me is Jonesy, 1234, and Portal Rex.
Oh,
Haha, yeah. So, yeah, this is the Portal 2 segmented run done in 100 portals, and let's get straight to it. It's been a long time coming. Let's start it right up. This is the first segment done by Swagatron. Snubbed me out by about 2 ticks on this one right here, but it's a segment that's pretty well optimized, even though it is a very minimally gameplay intensive segment. But yeah, I think I managed to beat him once, but we never quite got the segment for that. Or I didn't manage to keep that. It got lost in the ether. However, it's debatable on whether or not it tied his or not. It wasn't by very much, obviously.
didn't he get this during NSS? May have not. I don't remember.
I believe he did. Generally, with any of these segments on Container Ride, yeah, they, except for, no, even the one that I got for the actual segments to run with Znernicus, where it was, you know, the segments speed run. That one I got in an SS. They all tend to be that way because otherwise it's such a hassle to just try to deliberately get a segment for this. Otherwise, I have the volume down really low on the actual game, and I won't turn it up unless there's like a dialogue skip or anything like that, like Wake Up or whichever. But yeah, so this run.
Just saying, you are really quiet in the video.
I am.
Yeah, I don't know how I am.
Oh, I think I should probably be.
Yeah, like I'm fine listening to myself, but you are really quiet.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I'll just keep myself up from here. I didn't even realize. Okay. If throughout the video I'm too quiet or someone's too low or something like that, just hit me up. I thought lowering my own volume would be better, but it's not. I just turned myself up a lot, but not quite all the way. I'm hoping that's going to be better. Okay, so I guess while we're still on the video, I'll try to explain. What else do we have to explain? Nothing really. Just that it's been going on since at least August of 2013. At least the idea and segment executions and attempts have been going on since then.
Yeah.
I first. He can go.
Well, I started this sort of for fun, I guess. Just wanted to see what the entire game could be done in these portals. And so I spent quite a bit of time attempting, just attempting segments. Mainly the early stage. And when I originally routed the entire map, the entire game, sorry, I think about 115 portals was the target. And obviously a lot has changed in the just nearly 4 years or so of this run being produced. So
yeah,
a lot's changed, and we got it down to a nice round number of 100, which is interesting, I have to say.
Theoretically could be lower, but it's kind of interesting, yeah, that it just got right up to 100 on such an even number in the base 10 counting system. But Nalexa, I'm not going to be going through differences between this and the single segment LP because that would take way too long, and they're, I mean, the intent's still the same, but the effort is no. But yeah, over the course of time, we all put in as much time as we wanted to, really, in getting segments, either to make them faster or to get less portals than previously attempted. And over time, that absolutely was a lot of work for this. It doesn't show with the fact that it's only an hour and 15 minutes for the run, but just just how complicated the tricks are that go into every route to minimize the portals, um, and the fact that it really is there's not a lot of carryover from those tricks to let's say like any single player just speedrun strats. They all tend to be very different. There's a lot more cube hopping, a lot more just use of props and things like that in general, where you can't use portals.
Camera hopping, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Zai.
Yeah, so I believe the first two segments actually are faster than the Portal 2 Done Pro or whatever.
Yeah, Swagatron's segment absolutely beat mine from the first segment from the. I don't know if you could call it P2DP or if it's just the segments it run. So this is the start to any like skill intensive time saves, which is just the 12-second portion of Container Ride where you actually have to get through the chamber after all the cutscene. And so this is going to be Portal Carousel, done by me in a segment, just in the same style from the actual segments it run, just done, yeah, indeed by me. I'll just play through it. It's not a very complicated segment. And I guess just so that we don't have to explain it again, I'm waiting at the elevator because you want to enter the elevator in alignment with a fade trigger, of which there are multiple in the elevator throughout your descent, and that happens on many different levels. You'll see that we do stop, and it doesn't have anything to do with minimizing portals. It's just in an effort to save a couple of ticks. If we did have, like this segment entails, an attempt to optimize that time. Okay, onwards to Portal Gun. This is one that we absolutely did through 0 portals, try to optimize in time. It was quite a it's quite a race between me and Jonesy.
Well, yes, I essentially Pero ended up doing it in an entire single segment, and I tried to work on, because in the normal like speedrun there's a dialogue skip with Wheatley, and I got to the point where I was about, I think it was about half a second or less or something I had to save to be able to get the dialogue skip, and I had done it theoretically, but I never got to the point where I got segments all lined up together. So that was annoying, but it didn't affect the portal, and your run was very smooth anyway. So
yeah, I will say that for many hours I did try to attempt to even segmenting it later on, or trying to segment it later on to see if I could actually get it. I never was able to. I think I maybe came like about a half a second to a second from getting it, but I guess I'll just show the little route improvement within this segment that led to the ultimate time save really in the segment, which was simply getting from grabbing the portal gun to the end platform, which if you've seen Bananasaurus Rex's video or any YouTube video I might not be thinking of, they tend to go around a little bit, and I just did kind of like a 2-hop kind of a thing where it oh, there it is. Oh, jeez. I think I'm gonna try to avoid like going through there it is, that's the 2-hop. And so I'm gonna try to avoid going through like things like that unless they're pertinent. I guess that wasn't really all that pertinent, it's just a route improvement. But yeah, we really optimized that segment as much as we could. And this is Smooth Jazz right here. A very old segment, and it shows with some of the movement. Basically, it's just a succession of cube throws, which led to not really needing to use any portals except for the one in the middle room after you trap yourself.
First portal.
Indeed. Which I try to use in like I guess the reverse side of what we normally do to skip a little bit of a glass breaking sequence. But it's a very simple segment, yet again. And now we're on a cube momentum, not so simple, as we did have to do it in 3 segments.
Yeah.
I started off just in an effort to make the latter segments a little easier. I got the button glitch first segment so that I could just go straight to the ending once I got the cube. And I guess I should probably explain the lift thing, or the more complicated tricks throughout this sequence. In the meantime, that's how we managed to get it done. Just a nice, maybe 25-30 second run through of that chamber in those 3 segments. And the first thing that we do is, of course, that button glitch. And then we go to the Jesus TF2 strat of getting to the button, hitting that, getting onto the lift, or the thing that's supposed to stop the cube otherwise, and jumping up that, getting onto the top, and jumping to the ending. But of course we don't have the cube, we gotta grab that, so that's what the next segment's for. And then from here, the only way you can really get to the ending again without using any portals is a nice little cube jump. Missing the button, of course, because that would undo the button glitch. And then it's over. That's cube momentum right there.
Yeah, but definitely the hardest part is jumping on the panel, which
Absolutely.
when I initially did the segments a long time ago, which you beat because rude. No, it's very much takes a lot of effort to try, and it felt very random. And there is a technique to doing it more consistently, but it ends up being very random. That's why very few people have done it in single segment in challenge mode, because you have to combine then a circle jump on a very small button to get to the end, and then the cube hop's not that hard. But
yeah, it tends to be like it's anything. A general rule of thumb that's pretty good for Portal 2 is if you're messing with moving objects, you're gonna have a bad time. I'll just show it again in a little bit like a slower playback, just in order to kind of it doesn't really help in understanding the complexity of it, but just
yeah,
just to see it, I guess.
I think on one of my, I think I do have a video of it with the overlay.
It takes a lot of spamming jump, and it takes a lot of this balance between not clipping through the moving wall and actually successfully gaining height to get up the wall. It's a very weird, finicky thing. And then to actually hop to the end without getting clipped or getting stuck on it is another real pain. That is no fun right there. But yeah, it was done, and it's nice that that got done pretty early on. So now I guess we can move on to Future Starter, which is a ridiculous
and oh god, this theory that I had a long time ago was because the first portal shot was because in the normal way you do it in say challenge mode is you grab the you shoot the what's it called, the, camera, and then you essentially do my shot, but when you're dropped down there, and then just use the camera to essentially jump on it to boost yourself
Yeah.
up with the cube.
Kind of
But-
like the old incinerator strats.
Yeah, like the old. And so I had the idea that if you could shoot the shot from up here, and then essentially portal peak into the box, and then with a mid-air cube hop, get over to the end. And I tried it for hours and hours and hours. I believed it was possible, and so I got the initial segment, and this shot was ridiculous because it's not pixel perfect, but it's very close, especially
It's
from,
a seam shot for sure.
yeah, it's a seam shot definitely from that distance. It's kind of hard to understand where you have to shoot.
Exactly. I mean, just going through the portal in general, where, I mean, you're basically looking at a blank slate of a blue portal when you place it, and then all of a sudden, it's like just shooting any portal instantaneously out of there is just going to be a crapshoot, unless you know some semblance of an angle, and with the seam shot, that's still impossible.
Yeah, so I was ecstatic when I got a segment like this.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, handed it over to Cezzy Martin. And I don't know how long he took to get it, but he managed to get.
Oh
his
man, it took him
ridiculous-
like 5 minutes. He is a ridiculous player for the most random things. But I told him, I don't know if it was you or if it was Zai, or if I told him, or I pawned it off to him, but yeah, it took him like no time, and he just instantly got this segment. And yeah, all he did was jump and grab that cube, and right in midair, he just let go of that thing and hopped instantly on it, and it was like, wow. Yeah, he did a great job with that little segment.
Yeah. Another thing with him was I was trying to get a long time ago, back in about 2013. I was trying to get laser over goo, and I did about 7 or 8 hours of trying it, and he did like half an hour and gets the segment, and I'm like, come on, man.
He has some
being
kind of
good
an
at
intimate
he-
relationship with props.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, and then obviously you finish off with a nice button glitch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the quintessential thing I used to be good at for no particular reason, because I decided that was what needed to happen. It was a nice little display of that though, I guess. And I did a little 360 at the end because why not? A little bit of swag, I guess.
Yeah. That's my only main contribution to the final speedrun was that seam shot.
It's a good one. I guess we don't really have anything to say about Secret Panel other than it's longer and we have to actually do it intended for what we don't do intended in the speedy run. Yeah, and it wasn't actually like as fast as it could have been. I definitely could have saved a little bit of time on the top there. I could have continued hops like Xenernicus's route did, but I hadn't thought about it at the time. And by the time that it came time to render it, it was one of those things that I didn't think to optimize. And it's only by a second for a full segment run through of that entire map, so one of those things, like, I guess it wasn't necessarily a very beautiful, dynamic, fantastic segment to begin with. So it's it is what it is. It's Secret Panel. We have to endure it. This is hopefully the second time a lot of people are, if you've watched the other one.
Yes, like the next this and Wake Up. Wake Up's a nice run, but it's nothing that.
Yeah, there's
you
no
can't
like
do.
least portals fun in there. It's just like a clean speed run of it. And there's one fantastic thing that I guess I can talk about now that happens in Wake Up, so that when we get to Wake Up we don't have to pause for it, is a little dialogue skip that happens in that thing that is just ridiculous, where basically if you catch Wheatley in a certain time during his dialogue somewhere around the end, and you try to trigger his other dialogue and he misses it, you can either soft lock the game entering too early, or you waste about 3 seconds with him saying his dialogue later. However, in doing this little dialogue skip, I managed to not lose or save time in basically a segment that would have not been otherwise. It was a great segment in the start, just cut off a lot more dialogue in the beginning than I tend to. And I guess I'll just raise the volume for that little thing. Just for now. Alright, this is the playthrough of that little dialogue skip, and then we can continue.
Recommend it. Ah, I've just done it again. Look for a...
Yeah, that was him going through dialogue and basically just not saying anything. So you have to time it in your head how long it would take that quote to happen, and just enter the escape pod as if he'd said it, and you'll end up getting it. It's a really ridiculous little dialogue skip for a segment that would have not been without. And then there's cutscene and Hoopy. I tried to give it the works on that one, but yeah, it just is. And I guess we can actually just go forward to I don't know. I'll speed this up a little bit, and we can try to move as fast as we can to Incinerator. We got some fun stuff going on there in lease portals.
Yeah, this is not well. I think even when I first watched it, I just skipped the entire of Wake Up and
Yeah,
yeah.
it just is. I mean,
If you've seen Portal 2 speedruns,
I mean, if
bit
you've ever
boring.
played through it, you've got this down. It's something that happens.
yeah. But it's the calm before the storm, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, now we got
Waste.
Incinerator. It's
Yeah.
yeah, fun stuff going on here. I actually kind of screwed up and kind of messed up a lot of this segment for about 4 seconds. We could have had 1 hour 15:35, but basically I ended up getting this ridiculously lucky SPD after just basically, you have the mentality of just kind of treating the segment as you're not going to get it anyway, so you might as well just go for it. But basically, after not triggering this dialogue for the cube, or the cube spawn, I go to rehit it, and I get the other cube, to which basically, yeah, fun ensues.
Do you want to go in game and maybe show off the the triggers you're missing or whatever?
I mean, I know I came very close to hitting it the first time, but I'm not sure. I think it might take a bit too long with what we have to go. I think we've been
It's up to you. Like some chambers, it may be good to explain what's going on with.
Yeah, Incinerator is definitely a very trigger-heavy kind of a map. So
Yeah, because obviously we walk around a trigger as well and things like that.
well, I don't walk around that trigger for Incinerator. I just because I use the trigger that happens when the cube or the rubble is being taken off the portal gun in order to get the cube stuck. And
Yeah.
I guess I think I'm gonna avoid the. I'll just I'll play that really quickly over again to show where I hit the trigger. I'll just pause it when I do. Let's go back to 14. Alright, so that's me grabbing that first cube, throwing it back. That is a couple of units off of where that trigger is, and then I go back to try to grab that cube. But it's basically just after that. I'll pause it again when I actually hit it. Yeah, it's a little bit more to the right from that perspective as I'm walking forward to it, and yeah, it's basically just at the same spot, but a little bit back more. And so now I throw the cube into the rubble pile as it's moving, so that when I finally grab that portal gun, the dual portal device for the first time, I get that cube stuck. I was totally not thinking of where it was going or where it would have to get stuck in order for it to work. I just was giving it a try, and that's pretty much why this segment was ridiculous. So I throw it right here, had no idea it was going to get stuck like that. but those two panels right there that move down, once you grab that portal gun, get it stuck. Just like this. And so now it's stuck in there. I grab that second cube, and I basically pull a Portal Rex, or at least a earlier Portal Rex, with jumping right on that cube and getting right over the wall. Saving tons more time than what would generally take to do the 2 cube continuous jump up the wall. The
Which I did,
sickle brick strats.
Yeah, no, I segmented that, and like it took so long to get one where it worked out perfectly, like the first time.
Yeah, it's not a fun one. I think it took me about it took me a lot of attempts to actually try it in challenge mode. It was I think 20 minutes in is when I got it for the last time that I don't know how I remember that, but the last attempt that I had at 0 portals,
Yeah.
it was about 20 minutes in. Or yeah 20 minutes in. So this is this segment's actually kind of a ridiculous time save as well. I think it might actually be more so than the actual boost, where I skip the dialogue that you would normally have to hit in a way that I still to this day don't know how I skipped it, but I just it happened before, and so I wanted it to happen again, so I just kept going for it and throwing my head at it, and eventually I got the dialogue skip where I didn't have to listen to the 40-second long dialogue with basically the stuff that's triggered right here when she clears off the panel for you to shoot. But yeah, then you just go through the chamber, you do a hop on the cube jump, and get through that chamber with all the invisible walls and crap going through it, which I managed to hit one going through. And yeah, that's Incinerator in all of its glory.
Yeah, the old strat was actually kind of cool because you'd like use the cube to jump a bit higher, and then you jump off the cube onto something that's stuck out the wall, and use that instead of the cube.
Oh yeah.
To go on.
I think that was Spire Knights, right?
Yeah, I think that's the one that I originally did for the this.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it looks really cool, but obviously it's a lot slower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the balancing of the cube itself is kind of like, it's a tedious thing, just getting it to one side or the other when you're balancing it on the beam. But yeah, this is this is Laser Intro, which is probably my pride and joy of the run, honestly.
Oh yeah.
This stupid segment, like, just to have just basically grinded this thing for like 5 hours just based on someone saying that it might be a thing that might be possible, and just getting it to turn into this, where I get it first try on this segment, is it is a ridiculously rare launch to get.
Did you get it in challenge mode before you got it in segmented? I can't remember if you. Yeah, you did.
It was both times. I think I got it just about the same spot on this rim right here. It's the side rim right here. I just hop about on this corner right here, and I try to like walk along the outer edge right here to get launched the other way.
Not bad.
And you can see it right there. And yeah, to be honest, when I was going for this segment, I was hoping for anything that would be under three tries, and I'm obviously ecstatic that I got it first try, but like actually an odd story goes with this. I actually ended up throwing my headset on the ground, thinking that I lost this segment because of overwriting it, but what turned out to happen was because of the way that it carried on to the next segment, I didn't actually overwrite it, and I ended up being, for a second time, just completely in utter bliss, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not having to redo that. I think it took about 3 hours of solid saving and loading to get that when I did it. And here's Nex's segment. This is kind of there was kind of an evolution when it came to the laser stairs with the route to go as quickly as you could with 2 portals. It went from the quintessential Actually, how did it start? I think how it started was literally just getting onto the rubble pile, getting onto the laser receiver, placing a portal on the top, and placing another portal where the cube was, I believe, and then grab.
Yeah, and then it would hopefully you'd either be able to grab it or it would fall down, and you'd essentially do.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. You just kind of go through the level intended, except you kind of fizzle the cube so that you don't have to replace a portal in getting it again.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one, and it went all the way to this where we have a cube hop, and it's nice. I'll just play it. It's a really nice little simple optimized strat, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He just does a nice little quaint cube throw onto the button and ends it
So
just like
casual.
that. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's funny how much like more simple it is than the other strat. And here's Zeitbase for a segment of not that many, surprisingly. It's dual lasers with a strat that like is actually pretty ridiculously like it's a pretty beautiful strat compared to how simple this Lease Portals is, where he takes the he jumps for the laser cube as opposed to jumping for it and placing it after the lift has already gone up. He gets it beforehand so that he can place it early, and then mid-air he places both portals for, or at least the one portal for the end shot, and completes the chamber very nicely and cleanly. It's a cool segment for how quick it is.
Yeah, and obviously only Zypay could do it.
Yeah, especially back then. Holy crap! Oh man, and now we have another Zymartin strat, or segment at least. I don't know who came up with the laser over glue. That might have been Crank a while ago, but holy crap, this is an old route. We just had to have
Yeah.
someone to execute it, and none of us could.
Well, yeah, like as I stated earlier, I did 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours of trying for this segment, and he just goes and does it in like half an hour, and I'm like, please, your love for cubes is far too great.
Yeah, he is a piece of work for not playing this game like ever. Yeah, this cube hop, just the balance of like timing these hops perfectly to the point where you have just enough height to get to the other platform, and also to keep the cube and not like drop it by
Yeah, like
having too much height. And actually I'm not sure how that works, but I just do know that like if you the other way where you do get enough height, a lot of times if you have too much, then you end up dropping the cube and not being able to recover it.
yeah, it's an interesting one because essentially because of how Portal 2 grabbing of items, so essentially you can't item climb. There's a limit to how fast you can grab and drop a item. So if you getting to the platform at the other end after 2 hops isn't too hard. But it's grabbing the cube at the end, and the way to do it is actually to jump off the cube early to get more height.
Yeah. Like, holy
And
crap,
then-
just look at how low the cube is when he grabs it. At least in
Yeah,
the
like-
rendering. Like, that is literally
Like-
just, like, perfect.
Yeah, like it's essentially in the goo when he grabs it, and it's like it's just ridiculous.
Yes, indeed. And hey, Cass.
And
Everyone.
actually, like, oh yeah, because they patched out. No, wait, it wasn't for this. Because you used to be able to button glitch some of the buttons, didn't you? And then they patched that out.
Oh, you mean the button save glitch?
Yeah, the button save glitch.
Yeah.
Because we
always
could have
fun.
used that on that chamber quite easily if you did. Because getting over to the other side is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I actually even tried to do that in Bridge Intro, but yeah, that was... it turned out to just be such a finicky save and just not... it was a ridiculous thing. I don't even want to really go into it too much. I'll when I can form some coherent thoughts on it, I'll go into it, but that's definitely not this day. I'll just go on to Ceiling Catapult, or not Ceiling Catapult, Catapult Intro, where I do a couple of Nexus strats and well, at least one Nexus strat and a cube throw at the end to get a nice early dialogue triggering without using any portals, which we tend to do. I mean, obviously it's very easy to complete this chamber without portals. Just to do it fast is kind of nice.
Yeah, this was beautifully executed, I have to say. Like, it was so smooth to watch.
Yeah, I really like the way that that cube just happens to stop you perfectly onto the fling, when otherwise it takes like an extra second and a half to get back on it.
Yeah.
It's such a weird but awesome little trajectory. But again, that's basically what the least portals run comes down to, is just how crazily you can manipulate props to do exactly what you want, or
Yeah,
as close to it.
it's like in the chambers that aren't particularly hard, it's how smooth can how swaggy you can do the segments.
Yeah.
And then in the chambers where things take far too much effort and far too much trying, it's like take 2 or 3 attempts to do it.
Yeah.
Which I did see some people complaining about, but like if they knew how long it took to get these segments, sometimes it's like...
Yeah. Seriously, it is ridiculous. We do try to really carry our weight when it comes to these, but okay, I guess we're moving on to this is Zype's second and ultimate segment in this run. He did another Nexus strat, which for some reason I guess Nexus has an affinity for flinging. Well, somewhat, just a little bit, but he starts off with the challenge mode fast kind of entry into the chamber, or the main part of the chamber, and this part's very interesting. He hits off of this this panel which falls intentionally, which you aren't able to hit it unless you're going extremely well, unintentionally fast. But yeah, then from there he does this wicked strafe to get to that last fling and execute all that in 0 portals.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was
Or not 0
possible.
portals, I'm sorry, it's 2 ultimately, but he gets to the button in 0. My bad.
Yeah, like I didn't even know this strat was possible until like I saw this, and it was like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I still cannot like get it. It's a ridiculous strafe.
I'm pretty sure one April Fool someone edited this map so the fling did
Oh,
that.
Yeah, lizard.
And, yeah, now everyone was like going insane. But obviously, it was
Yeah.
April Fools, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, lizard's a fantastic kind of an entity in the Portal 2 community.
Yeah.
And so I guess now we move on to pit flings, which is just nothing really crazy happened in here. We just tried to get some fastish segments. Swagatron and Jesus collaborated to get this little 2-segment pit flings execution, I guess you could say, of the 0 portals route, which I think I first saw from HC Monster LP. However, he said that it came from someone else. I don't remember who though. Like maybe some Russian or something. According to my...
Yeah, because the old strat was where you'd have to like do like 3 or 4 cube hops along the side.
Yeah, JJ's. Oh,
Yeah.
it's that was a crazy one. That I could never even get that. I probably could if I tried hard enough today.
I mean,
but
I haven't even got this
obviously-
because this cube hop is ridiculous anyway. Like,
Yeah, really. I think I got that after I ended up getting Laser over Goo for the first time, which is kind of a testament to it.
I mean, I still haven't got half of these things.
Yeah. And Jesus, like, I have to say, having made that trailer and watched over it again, like, it seems like his movement is so perfectly smooth when it comes to just everything that goes into that, the 2 hops and the grabbing the cube, throwing it slightly so that you can get onto that platform. Like, every little strafe up until that section is, like, so nice and buttery smooth.
Yeah, he has very beautiful hops. I agree, and just general speed, movement tech.
Yeah, it works pretty nicely. He hits himself on the door frame, but whatever. He deserved that little 360 at the end. Good little segment, for sure. It's a nice get for us, seeing as none of us could get 0 portals, especially at the
No.
time.
Yeah,
All right, and here's my really. Oh man, I was so frustrated with this segment when I got it. This in Fizzler intro was me doing, rather than trying to climb on these two moving like uh plat or what's the moving walls, I guess you could say, or
Yeah.
plates. I bypassed that by doing 2 hops, and through those 2 hops, which you needed to have crouched so that they would have the right height. You basically just shoot the 2 portals in at the peak of your height in a way that just barely hits these portals in the right way to direct the laser to the receiver. And it was such an annoying one. It's, yeah, very, very annoying. There's so many. I think this one probably, for the amount of time it took, maybe like 2 hours, was the most frustrating of them because of how many misses there were. And you can even see, like, at the very end, it wasn't the fastest of hops to the end. It was, but I had to accept it begrudgingly. Yeah, you can see I just threw my mouse. It was a tough one. And here's a nice little counterpoint. This is a ceiling catapult where I didn't even know what kind of optimizations I would be missing right there if I would have done them just then. I would have been so proud of it just being that fast. This is a segment, actually the earliest of the ones that I've done, back from January 2014. And you'll see that right now as I play the circle jump.
By the way, you're using VLC, right?
Yeah, I am.
If you want to go frame like forward, like individual frames, just press E, okay?
Oh! Nice. Wow, that is some great functionality right there.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
was just thinking like it would be helpful. I'll look up some more hotkeys.
Oh, and that actually works for when I'm trying to, if I just hold it for going in super slow-mo.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you.
And then if you want to go backwards, there's like you can just press like shift like left or something to jump back a bit. I don't think there's actually just single frame backwards.
Alrighty. Yeah,
Uh,
that's. I would use the arrow keys, but I'm not gonna risk it just to lose my spot. But I mean, I guess I could. I think I'll try it right now. No, doesn't work. That's okay though.
No,
So-
you have to press like shift like left or shift right. So shift left would go back.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. It's intervals of 3 seconds. That's awesome. Okay. So, awesome. Yeah. So this is just the double dialogue skip. I really didn't even need to pause on here. I could have just let it go because we all know what that is. You just crouch once. then
If you
crouch again.
don't, look it up. Or
Crouch again right here.
go to Zanern's tutorials.
Yes. Easy stuff. The hard thing, which I still cannot get to this day, I have tried it before, is this perfect portal shot in order to get these stupid flings.
Mate,
It's so...
these flings. When I first saw this segment, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was beautiful.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was like a year before I got this segment that Zy Martin got this 3 portals, and I swear to you, it just went unnoticed by everyone until I think Isolytic posted it in his chat or something like that. It was really just, I mean, the fact that just having like maybe gotten the 4 portals route for this like a couple of weeks before seeing that.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
that's a ridiculous segment like as well. If you 4
Yeah.
portals.
Just those tricks as they are, like it took me, I'd say, I think it was 2 1-hour attempts. Like it was the first time in challenge mode that I saw my timer go above an hour to see it go to 60 minutes. But yeah, that was a real, that was the first time I ever really, I guess, grinded lease portals, was getting those flings. And this is me getting them in, both of them in one segment, which me and Lizard Rockets were trying to do both. He was trying to do it in challenge mode, I was trying to do it for the segmented run.
Yeah, and how it works is scripted momentum, which I believe.
Yeah, it's you have to have a certain velocity or within a range to get the fling on some at some range of points on the
Yeah,
ramp's
it's-
platform. And from there,
It's
you get to kind of strafe over, and I guess I could play it kind of. Nah, I'll just play it. You get,
yeah, and so it's an inbuilt feature for Valve to make sure like that you make it to your destination if you're coming out of a portal. It's just
Yeah.
a safety feature, I guess.
And if you want to learn more about like script and momentum, the developer commentary on Portal 2, if you have Portal 2, just go to Trust Flings as a map and click on the first speech bubble, and you'll learn all about it, or at least its functionality. So this is the succession of launches that it took that was really just so beyond the time for a segment. It's such a ridiculous thing to get in sequence, and then just to have that little portal placement at the end, just like with no hesitation, just as icing on the cake. The hops obviously were terrible, but the segment was obviously just it was something. And so now we have Yoshi Pro's debut. He had a actually, I had no idea what route he used to get this time, but it is clearly by far the most, like, it's the quickest you can go with 2 portals, clearly. I tried to come up with something kind of like this, but it was nowhere near close to as fast as his. But
I
yeah.
just realized how bad that circle jump was, though.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh my
it's like the
gosh.
opposite of mine, where he just strafes too wide, and it's still better than my ceiling catapult circle jump, which wasn't
His
even
ending
really
was
a
a very
circle jump.
smooth.
Yeah, yeah, you got a nice little throw there with the end of the segment, which I don't even tend to do in my single segment runs. I always get it in the corner, stuck in there, so I gotta go back. But yeah, he got a nice segment. Alright, and yeah, then we have Zy Martin with bridge intro. This is a legendary segment. It's one of those ones that I mean, just as a route, like, I think this route, I first learned about it from Lizard Rockets a while ago when he was trying to talk about theoretical routes. He was talking about this one and Ricochet with 0 portals, but
Didn't Jetwash then get it in challenge mode or something?
oh yeah, it was like years later, but yeah, he ended up getting it, and we were all just, I think I actually, like, I think I kind of yelled or screamed a little bit when he got it, and and I saw it in the stream, like how he got the last jump. Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get this in one segment is no joke. It's like Cube Momentum, where it's just, it is something. But that was just Falcolo Rebels' segment of getting that last hop, which is necessary if you want to actually do 3 portals as opposed to 4. And yeah, it's a lot. It's actually, oddly enough, a lot harder with 3 hops than it is with 2. If you do 2 crouched hops. I didn't know that for the longest time, but found that out after a little bit of doing it. I don't know what really, it definitely wasn't warranted, because I already had, you know, we had this segment completed, and we also had challenge mode. I already had that in challenge mode, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, Jetwash back in the day had an affinity for getting like the first, like, so he got the first what was it, cube momentum, and then this as well, didn't he? First, like, lowest portals.
Huh. I didn't know
I'm
that that
I'm
Jetwash
pretty
got the segment SS. That's pretty incredible. I guess I'll just, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of hearsay.
Well, no, I mean like in challenge mode. I'm pretty sure he was the first one. I may be
Oh
wrong.
yeah, he definitely, yeah, we were I forget exactly who was in the call with him, but I think it was me, Hobo Pie, and him, and someone else. There was actually a lot of people when he was doing it, but we were all just streaming and having fun. I think I might have been streaming Bridge Intro alongside him, but yeah, that was oh, so yeah, wow, that's pretty neat. That's actually kind of to be expected of Jetwash. He always does really nutty things like that.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
destroy him in the end song.
Yes. That I do.
Yeah, so we're moving on to
Yeah, Bridge the Gap. And this
yeah.
one is one that I think I ended up getting like a bunch of different variations of routes with 2 portals, but this ended up being the last one because it happened to be the fastest. Zype was the first one I saw to attempt this route, back a while ago when he was trying for a world record to beat, I think, Jet Wash in challenge mode. He just happened to do that route, and he was like, "Do this now, Paraculus." And I didn't do it for a while, but eventually I came to, and I was skilled enough to actually get it, where you just get that 3 hop, and it was yeah, quite nice when I did. It
Yeah,
was
no,
How many segments is that?
just one.
That is impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a nice
And,
little
like-
practice for the door skip.
Yeah, and like you sort of, well, I didn't say, but you sort of had a fumble at the end there with like a cube.
Mhm.
But then the speed you got through that door, I mean, it blew my mind. Like, what was that? I swear.
Oh yeah.
It's
Ah.
like,
Sometimes I just pull that stuff. I think that was probably like just from always just kind of just doing that in single segment maybe. I'm not really sure because I don't think I've ever had to do that succession of hops. Like if you do it in challenge mode or you do it in single segment, because you're on the other side of the button, you don't have that space to work with for your hop, and
yeah.
just being on that side of the button when you do that hop, it gives you the perfect spacing to do a good hop through the door. It's a nice little thing. But yeah, that segment was that was a good one, I think. It was always I never really didn't enjoy that segment whenever I got it. This segment, turret intro, was actually very it was very coveted by Markel after Zype got it. Markel was dead set on getting this, and also making sure that Zype, like through the years, he would always just be asking me, "Did Zype ever take turret intro back?" And I would always tell him no, because he never did. But it
yeah,
was
no,
funny to always see him.
I tried to go for this for a longest time, and like,
Yeah, I'm glad that
I-
Sushi ended up improving it, because Markel ended up being an infamous jump script user, and we all had our qualms, and some people that was their qualm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Funnily enough, me and Sushi went for this, and this is back before Sushi rejoined the community, and I ended up beating Markel, and then Sushi came back, and Sushi beat me,
Oh,
and
gee.
then we both improved, and then I ended up tying his ticks.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard briefly about that from someone, and I think what happened was, wait, did you get your segment before or after?
Before Sushi, but his looked cleaner.
Yeah, I think all I remember was giving the segment from Nexus's ready-made list of
Yeah.
segments in the Dropbox to Crank, and he just included Sushi's as opposed to yours.
Sushi's ending is very solid, though. It's way better than mine.
It's okay. I would have definitely gone through the side of the door because that saves like a couple of ticks. But that's not something that a lot of normal people should know. In-
Getting past the first turret without it hitting you once is very difficult.
Yeah, that was an incredible little
you have to
set
get
of
so
hops
much
there.
speed.
Well,
and
actually,
that
no.
cube,
Like he
sorry.
actually cuts his speed down a lot when he gets through that door. If like he does do some really nice hops though. Like in order to not die, you absolutely do need some great speed. Yeah, that little delayed hop there to hop through the door is also really impressive. Yeah, that's just overall a really good section. That's just some good ass hop spacing. He should run SS. And he ends it all off in a nice little spot to transfer over to the next segment. Although I kind of am in a bad spot because I ended up getting this segment in a race, actually, very recently. It's one of the actually I think it's the newest segment. Yeah, we never
'Cause when a while ago when I was trying to beat some of these segments, I actually tied your ticks for this. The original, and I guess you must have improved it because the original one was very slow.
yeah
'Cause you didn't do the fast cube where you put it to that side. You actually brought it over to the old SS strats where you do
Yeah.
the normal way.
I think well, according to Zenernicus,
helps
that
it.
shouldn't matter too much if you drop it with the range of time, I think a half a second interval that you have to grab it and then drop it. If you get there quick enough, then it shouldn't matter, but it does matter in the sense that you have to grab it as fast as possible. I actually tried
Yeah.
to take this segment from Nexus, And I guess I must have beaten him, but I thought that when I got it at first that I got that boost down the stairs, but apparently I never did. And so it was a crappy looking segment. And so we definitely had to have that boost. We definitely had to have that boost. But yeah, it's a simple segment overall. It just it's been a nice back and forth with it. But what's important is it's a present.
Yeah.
So now we're doing turret
And now we're
blocker,
on to...
which I snubbed from Yoshi Pro, actually, my boy, one of our boys. And this one was a really old segment actually, but I did a little bit of a little improvement thing by hopping with the turret onto the platform, and then quickly trying to end it off with a nice little awful set of hops. Actually, I don't think I really could have gone faster now that I see the hop spacing, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
The only problem I see with that was the cube grab was slightly slow, but apart from that, they tops at the end were...
Yeah, I think I
Pretty
should have. I think if I recall, in this segment, I grabbed the turret first and then I grabbed the cube, which would definitely be pretty slow. Let's see again. Yeah, I could have absolutely grabbed the cube first and then, but I think from that angle, it tended to fail a lot for me in actually knocking over the turrets that I had to, which is literally all of them, because when you're taking a succession of hops from there to the end, you have to make sure none of them can see you, or else you're gonna die. They're definitely not gonna boost you going forward, but yeah, it's a dumb segment kind of. It's a pretty easy one for Zero. Obviously we got it a while ago, but it was a dumb one to improve and get under 2,000 ticks, I believe. I think that was like the cutoff we were trying to get to. And this one would be... Oh wait, laser versus turret. Ugh. Yeah, this one... This was another quick one. We ended up... I don't know. I think this was another one that Yoshi Pro had before, but I ended up beating him by doing some dumb little haphazard cube throws right there. And I think that the segment before, it might have been done from me now that I think about it, but whichever way, we waited for the turrets to fall to sleep in order to get past them. I just threw the turret at him, and that seemed to do the trick.
Yeah. Very nice.
And now we got Portal Rex's freaking pull the rug.
Oh boy.
Oh
Yeah.
god, this.
Shoutouts to Pero for route credit with the cube.
Yeah, that was a really dumb route to just evolve and get to this with the stuck. Like the fact that it was two portals and it seemed like two portals forever, because like no one really wanted to work on this with the
Well,
little...
I mean,
there was the Fizz timescale thing that gave everyone 0 portals,
Yeah.
and from there, like,
yes.
yeah, we just...
When did they actually patch that? Because I still have 0 portals from this time.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is like anyone who had 0, like, there's no point in trying for this 0 portals unless you were just irrationally, just, I don't know, emotionally tied to getting
Well,
all the least
or
portals.
you joined the game after it was patched.
Of course,
I was
of
very,
course.
very interested in seeing this is actually a thing. Me and Pero were going for it
Yeah.
on stream, and I just ended up getting it first before Pero.
Oh yeah, no, I think I mentioned that you like were, if it weren't for you, I'm sure that I would have never gotten it, because oh god, I just went past a bunch of stuff there. Let me just go past. Give me a second. Okay, so yeah, like because of the ways that you failed when you actually managed to get the launch, you basically just made it so that when I actually got the launch, I knew exactly what to watch out for. And if it weren't for that, I probably would have screwed up like you did. And that's, yeah. So you're equally responsible for that whole thing coming to fruition. I don't know about
Another
equally,
really-
but you have a huge part in it.
Another really bad part about getting that starting segment for the launch is that even after I had multiple runs where I got a launch and I got up there, but like we couldn't keep the segment because the cube got launched too far away from the button.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't even thought about that before. Jesus. That's... Wow. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That's, really? Like... yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it got
I had a
optimized
couple
that
runs
far,
where I
but
got.
that's... It's one
Yeah.
of those things you just kind of, like... I guess just as a viewer, I would have definitely... I mean, I obviously did just take for granted that that was just some luck that just was accounted for.
I believe I have a demo of me getting the fling and the cube flinging to the exit and staying up there. Soft lock.
Nice. Well, not a soft lock per se, but...
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
you
then-
definitely couldn't get 0 portals. But yeah, this throw was actually spectacular after that button save glitch. That was
Oh,
really
Yeah,
nice.
the
I mean-
placing for that cube is so specific too.
Yeah, this was
Because
one of...
if it falls under, it won't give you a boost high enough.
Yeah. Actually, I think, now that I think back to it, this was the best segment that I included in the trailer. Just with the throw and the launch
And the
just together
moonwalk.
like that. Like, holy crap. This
In one segment,
Basically-
was fun.
this was the, like, end game of that entire chamber.
Excuse me. Clearly, Future Starter was the best chamber.
Yes,
On a-
yes.
On a quick
Oh,
side
yeah,
note,
yeah. No, you're totally right. I was just thinking about the ones next to it, like Kid A's and Felkalos and... yeah, that was... yeah, I mean, I even emphasized with the slow-mo how good the shot was. So yeah, it's... maybe there's some kind of a
Nah.
tie there.
It's just
Yeah.
obviously because my segment. Come on, that's the only reason.
Indeed. No, I'm in agreement. They were both fantastic.
They're both like really good segments.
Speaking of
Oh, no.
good segments, Jesus, we have Column Blocker. Holy. This
The
this
most
whole
segmented
chamber-
map in the game.
Oh yeah.
10 whole segments, which are essentially just you clipping.
Yeah, thanks Nex. I didn't want to clip. But holy, like this segment, just getting to the turret, it took me, I think 2 days. 2 half days of going for it. Or no, I think I want to say 3
'Cause
half
it's-
days.
How far is it roughly? Is it about
I mean,
just over 2 blocks? More?
if it was 2 blocks, I would have been able to clear that easily. I think it was 3
yeah,
almost.
I think it was 3.
It's either
But
3
the
or
amount of
I think.
Oh yeah,
from here-
because you have to get the boost off the
I think it's about 3. Yeah, because
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's 3.
but yeah, that man, that was a ridiculous. And the thing that's more ridiculous is that when Jetwash got this, he didn't even get that boost. He just did like the most crazy set of hops, and that is just like unfathomable.
Did you find that boost?
Yeah, I did. I had to, or else I wouldn't have been able to get that segment. And yeah, I kind of just found it out of realizing that, well, if you can get boosted backwards, then maybe you can get boosted forwards. And it took so long to get that boost after that. And a lot of times in grinding that segment, I ended up going back and forth from like attempting to go for it with and without the boost. Eventually, I did get it with boost, obviously, but yeah, that was a day.
and then
and
you have the longest wait until you decide, yeah, let's stop the segment.
Yeah, exactly. I think actually right then and there, yeah, I was it was the morning of, that was a kind of a really shitty day after I got that segment.
No,
My,
you were probably just like in awe, like I actually got it.
I think what happened was my lovebird was probably chewing something, or and I was able to pay
Yes.
attention to them, and I'm guessing with the amount of time that it was, that probably wasn't it, but I remember that
Yeah.
did happen at some point. But yeah, I was I just had my lovebird at that point, and yeah, I was just grinding that segment out, and I finally got it, and then it was a day.
And then this circle to double turret jump.
Oh yeah, that was I think it only took about another hour for me to get the jump from the and this is a pretty long time considering that it's such a short segment, jumping up with the turret to the top of this little place. But to actually have it standing is such a crapshoot. Just to be able to grab it afterwards is pretty ridiculous. It's like pit flings on steroids, because turrets do not like to stand. So from there, I had a little optimization, where what JetWatch does, obviously when he got the segments, he just had no regard for like how quickly he was doing it. I optimized getting to the edge by this little thing that I found out where when you get to the edge of a platform and you're crouched and walking, you go a lot slower edging off of the platform or any kind of a flat surface before you fall for some reason, and it gives you a really good indication of being right on the edge of somewhere. So that gives me a good lineup to get a nice circle jump to actually get this double cube or turret hop right here.
Yeah. This is Portal 2 done object boosts.
Yeah. And so that's that short little section right there is Nex clipping through the floor and doing a little bit of a strafe to get over to the invisible wall, or at least invisible in the sense that in Oob you can't see it without a couple of different things. You could either use SV cheats 1 and no clip and then exit the level, turn off SV cheats and go back into the level, and you'll be able to see out of bounds. Or there's another command, I forget what it is, maybe D-lights or something like that, where you can see out of bounds at least some props, maybe draw all renderables, or I forget what it is, but basically it allows you to see some stuff for reference out of bounds where generally you can only see pure white. There it is, yeah. And so we needed to render it so that we could actually see what was going on, but apparently Nexus did this without that, which would be kind of impressive, to say the least. Like, if he did it just blind and actually got to this spot where the pipe was and clipped through and boosted down into the like basically did this. He boosted off of that pipe and went straight in there without hopping to save a little bit of time. Like, holy crap. That's more than a shot in the dark. That is a shot in the light.
Yeah. It's essentially doing what they did in the Portal 2 done perfect, but
Yeah.
with basically no portals.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Nexus actually came up with a strat that involved clipping with portals and cubes, which was pretty ridiculous, but that's another story for another run and another commentary. I guess now we'll move on to laser chaining, which is just an easy 2-segment kind of a chamber where basically I just go through, get the first cube, place it in a spot where I can hop onto it so that I save myself the time of strafing what like we would normally do off the fling.
Yeah.
It probably saves about, I would say like 6 to 7 seconds, but I'd probably be wrong. It's like just enough time to basically warrant doing that little cube jump thing.
Yeah. And these faith plates are weird because they adjust your direction based on how you enter the faith plate. Because obviously, standard, you're meant to just drop down on them so they boost you up. But for some reason, they fly you off in the direction you enter.
Yeah. For this one, yeah, I think it has something to do with funneling, but maybe not. Like, yeah, it's just a correcting kind of a thing, but it definitely does the opposite of correcting when you hit it from an edge where it doesn't anticipate you doing. So I segmented right there so I could get a nice quick, like I could make the attempts as quick as they could be, where I could just save load until I get the perfect one, or at least close to perfect, where I just end up cube hopping after the fling in order to get that right fling. Didn't lose too much time, but it was a pretty nice segment regardless. And then I just grab that laser cube, the second one, and I do a little bit of another. Now this cube hop is kind of weird because I actually have to dodge this right over here. This is going to be another scripted momentum spot where if you're in a certain range, it flings you to the other side of the chamber for some reason, and avoiding that takes this dumb strafe that loses me a lot of height and chances of actually getting to the other side subsequently. But I do a nice little cube hop, and I get over there and get that second laser chained. And so you get on this little edge that no one should really ever know exists unless you're doing a Lace Portals run. It doesn't help in any other way. And yeah, we get to the end, and we just get done that chamber. And so now we're on triple laser, a very simple kind of a segment that it went back and forth between, I think, Yoshi Pro and a couple of other people. Portal Rex got it at some point. Nexus ended up being the person to get the fastest segment with this little sequence of cube throws and this quick little laser switch twice, which, firstly, that was so dumb of him to be standing when he was doing that, because he totally didn't have to. But he ended up doing it and getting that second one to trigger the dialogue, which probably saved about 10 seconds, I guess. Something like that. But yeah, it made it a segment, which is pretty good.
It's stuff you don't like, because unless you do single segment, you don't realize that if you don't hit the dialogue again, if you don't trigger the laces again, you end up getting this seriously. Well, you get no dialogue, so you have to hit the bottom of the elevator, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's pretty much it.
It's something you wouldn't realize if you just do challenge mode.
Yeah, it's like laser laser relays, where that's the case. If you get the laser switch, you won't trigger the dialogue, but it ends up losing time ultimately to getting the dialogue by taking the extra couple of hops to get the cube to hit the 3 receivers rather than just the glitch to open the door. But yeah, this is Jailbreak. It's another simple kind of a segment that it just I think this was another one I snubbed from Yoshi Pro, where I actually attempted to do another route that was kind of ridiculous, where I hit the button or late so that I could get to the cube and re-trigger that teleporting trigger to get you into the darker map, so that I could hop over the wall with that cube and do the same kind of like hop over the gap that we do in challenge mode. But it turned out to be 3 seconds slower, so I just ended up doing this.
Yeah, I guess the cube's just so far away, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just point to
And
the
this one's just going through the chamber stand like normally, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, kind of normally. Oh yeah, no, totally normally for this one. For Escape, it's a little bit different because you get to see that you don't place that portal where the turret is, even though it almost looks like I want to, which I kind of do. I don't like getting shot.
Yeah. Fun thing about Escape is I got a segment that was 4 ticks slower than yours. Because I was trying to beat it, because I think you may have actually... Did you beat this after?
I ended up getting a pretty fast one.
Yeah, because one of the segments a while ago, like this hop straight onto the railing there, you can actually continue to jump, which gives you much further boost.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Obviously you don't jump on the railings later on to, like, say, go around the
exactly
edge, which probably would have been quicker.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think the thing is, it depends on how you navigate the railings and or Wheatley's rail as you go through the level, because you do have to navigate around the corners, which are kind of a pain in the ass if you're not if you're actually going through every single turn. It's a lot easier when you're going through just the normal escape route after going through the portals from the turret ambush. But yeah, from here I just get off those rails and kind of do that old thing. Yeah, that's where I don't shoot.
That jump where you land straight on the railing is a lot harder, because, like, normally you actually land on the side part of one of the tubes and you can just jump onto the railing, but landing straight on the railing is actually, like, you have to do a crouch jump, I believe.
Oh, you mean for, like, getting across the invisible wall? Or around it?
No, not that, no.
Oh.
Oh,
I got you. You mean the first one after, like, the beginning of the map?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, like, I didn't really know that you could like actually just kind of clip up rather than having to, yeah, again hop on that tube, outer edge and then
Yeah.
hop again. Like it was so nice to find out that continuing hops, yeah, you just get to save all that little time from doing tedious things. That's always like one of the nice, like, that's a wonderful kind of a way to save time. And this is the darkest map. This is Turret Factory. It's an annoying one.
Probably won't show very well on the stream, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the stuff that goes on in complete like pitch black, basically, you don't even really like. It's all just going through the map the way you normally would. It's just
Yeah.
about like that, if not a little bit slow actually. Now that I'm seeing it, but I guess that's kind of warranted with the stuff that goes on later. However, I did find out that there was a faster. You could land on another tube that you could get the shot on. However, I never really routed out how you would get to the end of this chamber right here after doing that. Basically, I'll try to point out like the tube that you could land on otherwise, but really, the way that we did it right here was perfectly alright.
Yeah. Then obviously this is one of
That
the
was the
chambers
tube.
where
Or
it's theoretically
this way.
possible to get less portals, though no one's ever been able to make the hop.
Yeah, Crank had fables and tales about having gotten it before, but he said he never recorded demos because he would have to keep loading a save in order to have it happen. And
Yeah.
I believe him, but I have no basis on believing him. It's such a ridiculous jump.
I tried it for a good 2-3 hours, and like I got close, but then like there's parts where you can like railings that your head will hit, and then there's parts you can't stand on as well. That you think would be solid and make it so much easier.
If it weren't for that stupid like that belt or that rail that brings the moving panel things across, it would be so much easier. But that thing like just it slopes down to the point where like you're just gonna go careening down, whereas if you have enough speed to even get there, and it's, I don't know, you have to just like basically I guess either hit your head on that to the point where it's not going to do that, it'll just give you no speed, or you have to go fast enough to get past it. I guess I could go back to show what I'm talking about, which moving part.
Yes, for people
that one.
beat this in the
thing.
future. This is a point where it's theoretically possible to get less portals.
Yeah, Jesus has a video kind of explaining it, but the way that he does it, what you would have to do is either hop on the outer edge of this rail to the other side without placing a portal like we do right now, or you could go from the portal on this side right here, jump onto the railing, and apparently using jump scripts and binding duck to mouse wheel, once you jump off of here, you can make it to this other side, which looks perfectly amazingly easy from this angle, but is something far different in practice. I think that about sums up that. It's a ridiculous theory, but it's, you know, it seems like it's bound to happen with enough time thrown at it. But yeah, that's just getting through the rest of the level. And then we have turret sabotage, which nothing too new. The only thing that's different from challenge mode, other than being slightly slower with the cycles, is what am I thinking? The portal stand, so that we don't have to place an extra portal there, but also go fast enough to catch the cycle.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter how fast you do this star, because it all comes down to the portal, the turret. Sorry.
Once you fall off that conveyor belt with the turret that I forget what that turret's jeez,
special turret.
Yeah. That thing. If the conveyor belt, jumping off of that mid-air, that's where you hit the trigger for the conveyor belt to start going. Oracle turret, thank you. That's the word. Yeah, so yeah, dinner, that's what it is. Okay, so now that I have both turrets, I'm just gonna grab the one just like we do in challenge mode, and hop on that, give it a nice little ride up, which apparently you can do a little farther and actually save a hop, but I hate that little ride up because of how finicky the turrets are to balance on as you take the one up. But yeah, then we just go through as you would in single segment, really, or any time where you're trying to go fast through this, because you don't have to place portals anyways. And I liked how Crank managed to render this without having all the flying electricity or lightning going past. Although I don't hate it in Kess's run, or in his rendering of my world record from a while ago, former world record. But yeah, then we keep the turret and rescue it from the sabotaged line, and now we do neurotoxin sabotage, which I actually got in one try. Oddly enough, this cycle is a really random one, and it's such an annoying one to get this first. Not to just get the laser to hit the first pipe, but to also get it to hit the second pipe. Wait. I forget if that's actually a problem, but I do remember that it's hard to say. The way that the triggers work in the spawning of the moving platforms going across the portable surface right here that we shoot they're such an enigma that, yeah, you just can't really do anything about it. But you can shoot past them, which is pretty nice. So yeah, now we do this little shot that I came up with a while ago, past the door and through the other door, and then we get that first cycle in literally the perfect and most unimprovable segment in the run. No, that's not true.
No,
We've got those coming up right now.
Yeah, my two other contributions to the run, the two only.
All right, I'm gonna grab some water, guys. So if you want to say some stuff, do it during two. I'll be right back.
Yeah, the two.
The hops at the beginning of neurotoxin sabotage are very difficult too.
Yeah, they are like water. Yes. No. These. We're moving on to the one of my other contributions that I did in late 2013. So the how I spin around is actually like really special. Like this is me when I was I'd been 14 when I was doing this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was trying to like be all clever, like look around, and it really doesn't work because you get thrown all over the place. And so, yeah.
Oh.
But it's not pixel perfect. It's frame perfect. So you know, didn't lose any time at least.
Oh yeah. Tick perfect.
Tick perfect.
Frame perfect's better. It rolls off the tongue a little better.
You gotta crouch at the end of it.
So we just have a nice little clean introduction to core, which is a really dumb long segment that we just I guess the hardest part of it for lease portals was just getting past the moving glass stuff, the moving walls. There's a consistent way that I found to do it where you get the rubble off of the walls, and from there just do a couple of hops and climb it, kind of like Q momentum but much easier. Other than that, I mean, nothing really spectacular happened
Yeah, this is basic, and then obviously elevator skip.
Oh yeah, elevator skip is like the easiest, hardest skip.
Yeah.
Hardest because of the implications, but easiest because of the
Well,
execution.
implications in
And how much time it saves.
How much time it loses. If you, well, yeah, how much time it saves. That's an optimistic way to see it.
Because it's realistically, yeah.
Yeah.
How much time is it in? 2 minutes?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get fast fall doing this. I don't know why I didn't go for fast fall. I guess I just decided that after getting that that wall thing, the glass wall, hitting the stalemate button, as I did, I would just take anything I could get, and I decided to play it safe. Granted, I guess like there is no real risk to going for fast fall other than possibly getting
Getting
on the
stuck.
bottom of the elevator. Not the elevator floor, I mean. Like where you land on that as opposed to falling.
Yeah.
That's a dumb way to kind of lose time. I don't really ever go for fast fall anymore, oddly enough.
No. And then obviously we move on to my third and final.
Yeah, so
Segment.
there's the walls that go up, and I just, yep, clear them off, climb up that, press, and leave. And I think I'm just gonna skip him up to long fall.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let this play through if you guys have more stuff to say. I'll let you do that. I'm gonna do what I usually do during long fall, which is always fun. I'm just gonna take a bathroom break. I'll be back though.
Not much we can really say. Nothing really goes on.
Yeah.
Say that I'm glad this is over. And that it's finally been finished. Yeah.
There will be new routes found eventually. Saving
Eventually.
portals.
But I
Especially with like the theory about future starter and how it can be done on one less portal.
yeah, but that's all down to like complete RNG where the cube rolls, isn't it? Like
Yeah, I'm
rolls
getting a
over-
ridiculous shot.
because you have to. Like, I'm pretty sure people have made it with the shot for the cube, but
Nobody's gotten the shot for, or they have gotten the shot for the cube. But
yeah, but obviously the
nowhere.
cube hasn't rolled.
Yeah, the cube's always gone into the pit, and
Yeah.
people have adjusted the shot little by little, and nothing has changed.
No. That and then obviously the what was it turret factory. Those are the only two, I think, theoretical portal saves that I can think of.
Which ones?
The future starter where like you shoot
Oh, yeah.
and the cube rolls
There's
over
also-
and somehow grab it.
If you're considering like impossible jumps, trust fling is another one where you could get
Wow,
zero
yeah.
portals.
Sepe's almost made it, hasn't he?
I think Ricochet is another one if you consider the possible faulty fling, if you can get it with the right speed. I don't know if that's ever going to be possible though. But yeah, so that could
Yeah.
cut off about 5 portals from this. But
And that concludes my last
Yeah.
segment for this entire thing.
and now we got Portal Rex's last segment.
Rip,
Yeah. Well, not really. Right?
90% hopping.
It's well, it's good hopping. It's
Yeah,
it's a solid.
hopping
smooth
in
thing.
that area is just hopping in that area is ridiculously hard with all the different terrain, and
Yeah.
you'll see on the very last segment I have that I almost lose control, slam into a wall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like just the hops that you did to get up the yeah, everything is angled. Nothing is just a flat surface. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous how much like hop control or air control, whatever it takes to actually get these segments right here. Like just managing every little boost and doing the hops like this it's pretty cool. And even continuing the hop from like where I'm at right now to there, that killed so many segments for me when I was trying to do it in one. That was ridiculous. Yeah, there's some fun hops going through here in succession.
That segment was a really bad save spot. I should have waited longer.
Nah, that was a good one. I mean, I wouldn't have. I don't know.
I was still in the air a little bit when I saved.
Yeah. It might have made it turn out cleaner for the render, but I guess that maybe was why the one guy was like, "This is not, it's hacks."
Yep.
Whatever, fuck him. I'm sorry, not fuck him, because you're probably watching the commentary. Whatever.
But getting the ending boost towards the area I need to go is ridiculous. Also.
You mean after you open the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous, because I always just went to the bottom of the steps. I never really considered going just to the pipe, and that does save time, so that's pretty cool.
Another thing I totally didn't even consider was the ending, on how much closer the door is on the right side than the left one is, and I didn't realize that until after I got a segment, so I had to redo the segment.
Ah.
Yeah. And we got to move on to
Yeah, this is Cave
Cave
Johnson. Which
where we
is
don't
an
meet-
impressive single segment. Like, holy. Just that, like, I mean, the shot that, that makes the reportal possible, getting that so late in it is, like, it's just, it's not fun. I tried to go for it for a little bit. I never got it. I did not like it. The strat, just to have it go this fast, is pretty cool. I mean, it's not like the as fast as you could go with it. It's not a Zypade segment, as a lot aren't, but it's really nice how it's just all done in succession like this. Huh. Huh.
Yeah. Obviously,
So,
scripted momentum.
Yeah, there was no transition like save or there was nothing loaded at the start to have continuity between those two, because generally those saves just I think early, like really early in the run, when I was doing like the what is it, the first no, not container, right, conversion intro segment, we decided that we'll try to get it as close to looking like continuous as possible, but we're not gonna bust our asses over it. We do what we can to make the ending, like crouch fly preserve segments. Well, actually, no, that wasn't very hard. It just required loading through the freaking the ending to the map prior. But yeah, the segments aren't completely continuous. We decided early on to avoid the mess, because segments were going to be beat left and right if we decided to be that anal about it.
And it means, like, you didn't have to load a save every single time. You could just, like, restart level.
Yeah. That too, indeed.
And then obviously moving on to repulsion intro.
Oh yeah. This one has gotten a lot of play, it seems. Maybe unnecessarily, maybe like I think it's just because the Tyronus and or I forget who, I know it was Spyro Knight had one upload of this, but someone else had another one, and the Spyro Knight one is the one that sticks out, but it seems that everyone was like introduced to this boost thing when they saw it in this, when I did it, which is kind of odd, but
it's the only place it's used in this run, isn't it?
I mean, it's like the only time it's used in, like, it's such a rare like glitch to find a use for, because a lot of times, I mean, hey, like, you need to be doing least portals for this to be useful here.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Is it used in one of the co-op maps though? I can't remember.
I know that it's used in aerials with Crank's last course in that. However, no, I don't think it's going to be used in... I know that they do have like a variation kind of a thing where they bump into each other. Two Russian players, DM and someone else. They do a couple of maps, like bridge testing, I think is one of them, and there's a couple of them where they do that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do that with cubes here, and then that quick little I'll replay that. There's a little the way I start off this segment, which is a really quick segment only because the two tricks that are like the trick before and the trick after are so freaking annoying. I just decided to intersect them with this little button glitch here real quick, and just almost over segmenting, but not quite.
No.
Because it is still nice to just get that really quick button glitch in there. And so we go across the gap, and we get the cube stuck with the nice little angle right there after hitting the trigger to close the door, and we get a nice little boost. It was actually a very quick one. I think it was actually about tied with my challenge mode boost, SPD. However, like, there's still a lot we have to learn about that boost. It's so finicky, and it really does seem like it needs that bit of time in order to become like able to boost you that high. It is weird. But yeah, then you just finish off the chamber by hitting the dialogue and going through the elevator. Now we have bomb flings, which is another. It's a grueling one. It's a Kid A route. It's the yeah, 3 portal. Except I found out that by doing some more reckless strafes, you can save a lot of time by doing those and not having to redirect the gel through this portal.
Yeah.
Which is very nice in the grand scheme of things. It saved about 20 seconds overall in the segment when I combined that with the one-time bounces for a couple of climbs that you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, climbs just are getting on that tower and jumping off, getting over here, climbing this thing up, jumping back onto the tower, and climbing up with using this very small amount of height that you get from bouncing off the blue gel. For some reason it gives you a little more height. It actually gives you a tad more, I believe, if you bounce off of it twice, especially walking. If you jump, it doesn't give you that same height, but walking onto it, yeah, you will get a bit more height from the second bounce. But we just do it in 2 just to be reckless and optimized in time.
I think if you jump onto it, so say you don't gain any extra height, but if you walk off a platform and then land on it, then you do gain height.
Yeah, that's how I ended up getting the that's how I ended up getting the 2014 segment from Propulsion Flings, because if you jump on that gel in Propulsion Flings onto the top of the red, or the bottom of the red tube, the red gel tube, orange gel, whatever, you end up gaining a little more height, which just barely gets you onto the wooden plaque or plank thing to do the fling. But yeah, from here there was just a bunch of parkour to get up to the top of this chamber, skipping all of it with no portals, just like that. And that one's done.
Yes.
What is next? Oh, Crazy Box.
God.
Speaking of tedious, actually, there was one route which no one ever was able to execute, but would have been really freaking cool if we could, where apparently you could boost up with the bombs of gel, basically collecting downward speed from the bombs to go up higher, bouncing, in order to stuck launch between the pipe and something else in order to get to the top a little faster than Kid A does. But because no one ever really got it, this is the segment we went with. While I was on campus, I convinced him to try segmenting this, and I taught him how, and he ended up doing this for us, which is pretty nice of him. And so he's just getting the gel in order to get to the back of this little wooden panel thing in order to later use it. Yeah, it's a fun little Crazy Box route that is actually a lot nicer than the 2 portal route that he came up with very quickly after having his I think his 4 portals route beat. All of the routes that he created for this map are worthy of, they're just very applause worthy. They are some crazy routes using every little bit of the map, really. And in this one, he's boosting himself up with the corner of a door, which is not an actual door. It's just a model that's just it has a slanted clip brush on the top, which just barely can get you height if you strafe up it. And like the complexity to that route alone, like it reminds me of 3 gels actually, when he had 7 portals as the world record. There are some crazy boosts, just like this one right here, that the 3rd segment entails, which is just him boosting up this thing, which, to be honest, if it had any other applications, let's say in Turret Factory, maybe 5 portals would be done, like, easily. I don't know if it could ever be done like that, if there's any invisible things like that, but yeah, there's there's a lot to be learned from Kid A. He has real. Actually, to be honest, that puts me onto a. There's another theoretical route, underground in zero portals, which he was attempting to route out, but got stuck at about. I think he was 20 units away from making a certain hop that could get him the zero portals, but that route is too complex, and as they all tend to be from him. So that's for another day.
Yeah,
So
but just to like show that how amazing this route is, his video on zero
Sorry, two
portals that
portals.
he uploaded 2 years ago has 1.4 million views.
mm-hmm. And
Like,
he deserves every single one of them.
yeah,
The route
it's
is ridiculous.
It's insane.
And I mean, it's the ultimate, like, having so many moving parts to it. Well, not moving, but like having so many parts to the route in general just makes it so like incredible especially for its time. His routes are all just like timeless for this game when it comes to lease portals. He really, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't work on the segmented run more. He just has this one chamber, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if he would have gotten underground zero or two portals rather, then yeah, he would have earned that one too. And that route would have been incredible, I gotta say. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna ask him if I can post a video describing that route, because now that I think about it, it was incredible. Unless he wants to, in which case he really ought to. But yeah, that's Crazy Box. He ends it with a stuck launch and launches right over all the chamber and gets yep, just to the end. And this is another really recent segment that I got. This is potatoes. I managed to get it in one segment, which was pretty nice. Basically, I just have to place this portal right at that corner on the top there, so that I can make this in 2 hops, which I found out was not easier than 3, but definitely doable. Barely. So I do that little hop, which I think was either Tyronus or Crank that made that. However, yeah, we just go through the chamber, do the little fling from SS, but a little bit more risky because we're using 2 portals as opposed to 3. And I managed to get it perfectly right onto the edge of that sign, and we just carry on like it never even happened. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, like Xenonicus just says, we may want to go back and explain like how the bomb,
Oh yeah, sure.
the blue gel is moved,
Definitely.
and what a stuck launch is.
My bad. Alright, yeah. So, in some of these segments, it's kind of over, like, you don't have that problem a lot, but, from here you'll see that when you segment, you don't really get the, rendering of, gel blobs. You would have seen that in a lot of Chapter 6, but, yeah.
Yeah, because
When-
the map has to load for the gel to load.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's oh man, Juxpa's hosting me for Yuxpa, I mean, for 67 viewers. That's cool. Hi guys, and welcome to a nice little commentary about halfway through. Actually, hopefully a little bit more than halfway through. But we're chapter 6.
Yeah, we're nearing the end, hopefully.
Indeed. And Bubbles Del Fuego for 11 viewers. Sick. Well, this will be informative for you guys if you have played Portal 2. Good stuff, good stuff. So, we were just discussing that we kind of glanced over just basically praising Kid A for his routing prowess. He uses another really ridiculous strat, basically only possible being at that specific height where the gel bomb spawns, and he places himself in a spot very specifically in order to launch the gel to exactly where he needs it to be for the stuck launch to work. He did this previously in another video where he coated the entire surface so that he could get the safest strat that he could when he was doing this in real time or in one segment. But here he does it very optimizedly, just one bomb right where he needs it to be, and goes right to the ending. I won't go over my potatoes again. I'll just kind of play it faster, I guess.
And the stuck lock essentially just happens because you get stuck between two objects, and essentially the game convinced you're constantly falling, and
Yeah,
then so when you fall out the end, you have say 3,000 velocity, and
exactly.
yeah, and then you just get fired across the end of the map, which we do utilize in later chambers as well.
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't work if you have crouch fly or anything like that. You definitely still have to have gravity acting upon you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a
Otherwise,
weird kind of a glitch,
velocity
but
doesn't get added.
yes, indeed. But yeah, it's a cool little glitch found by Zy Martin in Aperture Tag. In I think Double Bounce is the chamber. I forget what it was. It was something dumb.
Yeah, aperture tag.
But yeah.
Doesn't that have a segmented run that hasn't been rendered yet?
Yes, it does. I might actually get to that now that I think about it. I've done some pretty good rendering jobs recently, and I think Aperture Tag's a pretty quick run. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think Potatoes was only a good segment because I
And
managed
then-
to do it all in one, and doing it all in sequence, kind of like Cave Johnson, but not on that scale where it's like incredibly complicated and hard to do that shot. Just doing all that in one go is kind of just a nice little reward in of itself. And now we have a nice little quick chamber. I tried to optimize back in the day and doing it as quick as I could with that fast shot, that seam shot found by Zimbabwe. And then we only use 2 portals instead of 3, so I'm not using either a re-portal or a Pika portal or anything like that. I'm just getting a boost off of that ramp right there, continuing hops all the way to the ending, to the portal, and getting right over that gap barely. And from there, the map just ends. It's pretty nice that way. That's one of those segments that's been improved, but not recently. That was years and years ago. And now we have the legendary propulsion fling segment. We were talking about it a little bit ago with the standing or falling as opposed to jumping for height on blue gel. But yeah, it's a simple segment. You just walk and boost. It's pretty great.
Yeah. So when you spam jump on blue gel
Mr.
on a
Achilles.
slanted surface, you sort of get essentially ramped up it. Like your speed constant. I don't even really know how it works, but that's
I
just the
think
general idea.
It's weird. I think it has to do with like a jumping in a specific spot after you've already gained like I think the bounce itself gives you speed across that gap, or and maybe like each time you do that bounce, or actually I have no idea. Again, yeah, jeez. The reason I was like flipping out over that segment when I actually got it was because of how quickly after the gel was placed I got that boost, which was like instantaneously. And here's a nice little single segment that I did for portal intro, aka conversion intro, aka 12 portals and not fun any single one of them. It was it was a solid segment. I didn't really screw up too much. I actually did things pretty well when it comes to not really messing anything up, having to go back around or anything like that. Sometimes, like in my earlier attempts at this, I actually forgot that I wasn't placing portals to get across that room with the where you have the Cave Johnson, like looks like an intro seminar
standard
kind of a thing. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, oh, actually, no, I improved this segment in the middle where after going through the elevator, I found out that you can save a little bit of time in setting up all those portals by just strafing the right way. So I place a portal real quickly right into the white gel, and I place them basically just as you would in single segment, but I strafe over to the beam, saving a couple seconds, not having to set it up, and a little bit of hassle. And then I do those tedious flings to get me a little bit of height at a time. And I do just enough to get up the railing, but every time I watch it, I always second guess whether or not I could have gone the other fling, but then I realized like nah, it was so perfect getting there just with the one. But yeah, it's
I think you probably could have gone one fling earlier, but I don't know.
I know that's it's ridiculous. Like the amount of like how perfect it was when I strafed over to get it that second time around. It makes me feel like I probably would have missed it the first, but having gone for it, it probably would have been. It couldn't have hurt to have gone for it when I
Yeah.
on that other
But
that second
especially
last
if this
fling.
is just this is single segment, so no segment.
Yeah.
included.
And I
So-
definitely completed like a single segment at the end. Like you would definitely not do if you were going for this in challenge mode. You would have done it a lot more safely, I guess. But it's fun.
And then moving on to one of the
Oh.
most broken chambers in the game.
Oh, Kess is trying to explain the he says he has a theory about propulsion flings where he says when you are when you put blue gel on the ramp it or not when you put blue gel on the ramp, but you apparently get many bounces on the ramp when the game tries to stick you onto it in setting you up for the I guess in trying to set you up for the scripted momentum. But I don't know. Oh yeah, it doesn't work on higher tick rates. I know that. As a matter of fact, I don't think you bounce as high on higher tick rates. It's weird, like the gel mechanics don't work the same. But yeah, here's 3 gels. We just
Yeah, Kess, like the only chamber he ever does is that chamber. I think I was
indeed.
looking-
He improved the world
Yeah.
record recently, actually. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
know.
like
Yeah, it was
Very impressive.
he improved his own world record.
Yeah, it's
Well-
very impressive.
yeah, it was very clean. Like the way that he got that stairs boost off of the the railing, that was awesome. But yeah, he he definitely has that chamber. I don't know if Zype will ever beat it. It looked really clean. But then again, I said that your pull the rug looked extremely clean, and apparently he has a 14 now for whatever reason.
Yeet.
But yeah,
Mate,
14.6 possible.
it's tough. but
Zype is a human task and not like
yeah, you were not.
Tyler,
wrong.
do you want to talk about old 3 gels before new 3 gels?
I don't. It's like trauma that I'm rehashing. I don't know. It's awful. It's yeah, because there was like, man, I think that whole segment, like the 5 segments that I brought that I broke 7 portals, 3 gels into, would have been like a good solid 3 minutes of gameplay. And holy crap, it was so many boosts like you wouldn't believe. I hated that strat. I'm so glad. It's like 2 portals going to 0 portals on Crazy Box. It's such a nice, simple, it's such a nice improvement in every single way. But yeah, I ended up, after some counseling from Drunken Shoe, forming the either 4 or 5 portal route for 3 gels. I think I tried 5 at first, but then I realized you could do it in 4. And yeah, from there, we just end up doing it like that. Which is kind of annoying because it means you have to wait for the elevator at the end. You have to ride the elevator of shame. But yeah, this is my favorite part of this segment, having gotten this, where I hop from the platform immediately into the stuck launch. Tanger gets
Well,
round
it's
credit on that.
so impressive. It's so impressive. Holy shit.
It's a nice little thing. But
I
yeah,
did not know that was a thing, but that is by far one of the most impressive things.
wow, that's just so smooth. Like I've
Exactly.
been trying to do this challenge mode, which
Hey,
you
Ness.
use that
What's up?
one. And like
looks like I almost got it again. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a fun one. But yeah, then we just go fast and end it off with that last segment. Yeah, that was fun.
and then just obviously staring at some paradoxes, and then
Lots and lots of
finishing off.
cutscene.
yeah,
Well, not cutscene, but just dealing with
Waiting.
the elevator. It is quite a wait. I don't know about it. Some may say it's worth the wait.
when you can be doing either tube bounce or another stuck launch.
Yeah. I'm surprised with all the tubes that we have in here. There was nothing like you could do with the gel. Although that would be pretty sick. Could you imagine like directing the gel somehow with like segment after segment up to the top?
Oh god.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or just somehow getting up to the other tubes without like so you can just use a standard tube bounce without using any portals or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I mean, actually, what you could do now, I mean, it wouldn't really work because, huh. I think one idea that I had was, if you fling all the way up into the chute right here, um, under the elevator where I'm putting my cursor, if you fling all the way up to the grate, you could probably hit a portal onto a wall where you could place some gel with that last portal. That's not the one that you place generally, but where it's on the floor, but the one where it's the problem with it is that you would have to take that gel and somehow make your way up to the top, but would take that would take too much time. But if you place it like somewhere, like let's say where you normally do the second stuck launch, to get both the elevator skip and the hitting the button and getting the paradox sign thing, I think it would take too much time to do that anyways, so no one ever really worked on it because it would be just kind of a lost cause if it was slower. And it definitely doesn't save portals. But yeah. So that's 3 gels. Just a simple 3-segment execution of the map. And then we go to test, which is a nice little, almost
This
single segment tier kind of a map.
go.
It's not as fast as it could have been, definitely. Like, this segment was one of those ones like Secret Panel where I just had that mindset to just get through it. And yeah, it's not going to be impressive regardless. But
When I was doing fun thing about test, when I was doing some theorycraft for the second room, we thought about using either the cube or somehow hopping across without having to shoot another 2 portals to get hit the button. And it turns out that you have to I can't remember what it was, but essentially you have to
yeah.
oh.
I think the door won't open if no.
If you don't press the button or something along those lines.
Yeah, the second door after you enter basically what should be the exit, but he, opens up the wall. The either the wall won't open if you save glitch, or like
Yeah.
the quote won't start, something like that. I just wanted to say that this is the dumbest part of this is the dumbest part of test, where I move the cube out of the way because I anticipate grabbing one and the other one's right there. Because every time I go into that chamber, I try to listen for what cubes are in there, because you can kind of hear it through your headset if you have one on, if you have the stereo thing. You can hear if one's in front of you or if one's on the side. But I didn't hear that one, and so I just grabbed the one to the side, and I'm like, get the hell out of the way. And it just, yeah, I just ended up pushing it and then throwing the other one like a champ. That was bad though. And so yeah, we just get through it, and it's one of the most dumb segments, but yeah, it just had to be done because we couldn't get the 2 portal route to work, which would have been amazing. Absolutely. I like the ending to this, actually. I like how quick this was.
Oh, I remember what we did was we took the cube and we cube hopped across, but you had to hit the button a second time, otherwise the door wouldn't open. So and it obviously, if you press the button, it would fizzle the cube you had on the other side, and so you couldn't hop across or something like that.
Oh, weird.
I think it was something along those lines.
Oh, you had to hit the button so the quote started?
Yeah, something along the lines of that.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah. Go figure. Yeah, I'm guessing the exit door wouldn't open if you didn't initiate that second quote by hitting the button the second time around. The pedestal button, I mean.
I can't. It was a long time. It was a long time ago, and we just realised that it wasn't actually possible.
Yeah.
So you ended up having to use 2 extra portals.
That's no fun. Yeah. good to try on something like that though. Would have been cool if we could do 2 portals, but yeah, it's so weird some of the workarounds that they have trigger wise for not like soft locking or ruining the sequence of the game. But yeah, on that note, actually, not really on that note. Funnel intro is just a bunch of weird glitches. I mean, really, oh my gosh, like the way that the glitches. Basically, what happened. I'm gonna actually have to tell a little bit of a story for funnel intro. You're gonna have to forgive me, but basically, Imanex was streaming. I don't remember exactly what he was streaming. But he I was asking him about lease portals. I don't know how it came up, but he basically said, we have a route theory going for or he has a route theory going for funnel intro, but he didn't want to release it because he didn't know if it would work or something like that. And so basically what I had to do was just try to deduce what his route would have been, and what it turned out to involve was clipping through the floor with the cube, which when I first got, I freaked out. I was right at the exit and I was thinking, oh my god, if you could clip back through, then that would be 0 portals. And Drunken Shoe eventually deduced that it would be a lot easier and a lot I guess you could say quicker. Well, definitely a lot safer in challenge mode to just clip through the glass floor, because in doing so, like, it's a thinner floor and you're not just clipping it out of bounds, and you can from there, if you get the cube, as you'll see here, actually complete the map, given you get that little cube stuck or Franken-turret button stick thing that sometimes happens in weird places throughout chapters 8 and possibly even 9. I'm not really sure. Mostly 8. It's useful in 8. But yeah. What I tried to do was a couple of like kind of superstitious movements where I was trying to have this cube open up its legs while it was on my head, which sounds raunchy, but that's what we did. And then I placed it by the door, trying to clip through its legs as I was going downwards. Oh, I guess what I started off with was, again, trying to... Oh, I guess I have the collision thing here. I drop it, and you can see, because I'm just going... Because it's not just making me fall down by dropping on my head. It's clearly got the glitch going on with it. So we just have it clip me through with its legs down through the floor. And yeah, chaos ensues. Control chaos, but chaos.
Do you want to explain like the fly glitch, because this is the first time we see it? But
I'm not sure actually. I don't think you would have been able to get the height if you didn't do the cube stuck glitch. I don't know how you would have done that with 0 portals. I mean, I guess you could have maybe gone down the portal by... yeah, you could have traveled down the funnel. I don't know. I don't know, Xernicus. Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. I was only thinking for, Whoa, what happened there? I was only thinking for challenge mode. You're right. We just used the button save glitch right here with a sunset bear, not sunshine bear. And yeah, then we ended up preserving crouch fly through to the end so that we could what am I thinking? So that we could have crouch fly for the rest of the chapter. Really, I mean, we don't get rid of it until finale 3, right? Yeah.
Do you want to explain how crouch fly works, just in case?
Sure. I mean, you have 0 velocity at the end of a funnel in a way that you can also crouch, so you can't jump into the funnel. You have to either drop into it or travel through it standing in some way, or walking rather. So you crouch at the end of a funnel, and you want to do it in a funnel where, if you're trying to carry it through a level, doesn't fizzle once the map ends. For example, any funnel that comes through a portal that you create. So you get at the end of any given funnel that you're trying to get the glitch in, and yeah, you just crouch. You can uncrouch, but you can also preserve it if you just crouch and do what we're doing right here, where I didn't uncrouch because it does kind of take a little bit longer to do the glitch. And I mean, oh wait, no. If the funnel is directed upwards and you crouch, you can't uncrouch because it raises your height to the point where the only way you could uncrouch is if you either got to a higher ceiling, or if you went down, which is impossible when you're going, well, when you're standing still. But yeah, you can either preserve the crouch fly, as we do through through all these levels, by not hitting any additional funnels, and by well, in the first chamber, crouching and basically just keeping it through the load. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to explain now that I think about it. I'm not sure. I think that pretty much covers it, but I think there's something I'm missing. I guess if anyone has any questions about it in comments or whatever, I'll just leave it alone for now so we can carry on. Ceiling button is pretty simple on that note, having covered crouch fly. Basically, yeah, we just hop up to the ceiling of the level, and or at least the ceiling of the beginning of the level, and get to the button, hit that to drop the cube, grab the cube, and I'll carry on from there once we actually get there in the video. So we get to the button, but the only way, if you were in challenge mode, to get that button, or that button to stay activated with the cube, is to have the Franken turret stuck to the cube. But because we're doing this as a segmented run, we were just able to do the button save glitch, where you just basically just like pull the rug and just the chamber before funnel intro. We just save and load right there where you have the cube just on the edge of the button, and then we direct ourselves downward by just hitting ourselves on the head with the cube. And because we don't need that cube anymore, bye. Sayonara. We just throw it. And that's ceiling button. Nothing really complicated. Just a button save glitch and preserving crouch fly. And now we do wall button.
The entire route has changed when we managed to well, because I don't think when I originally like routed this, well, I didn't save like fly from the first chamber. So like when I first did it, I always in Trust Drop I saved the fly glitch from there and took it on. But a lot of things has changed, I guess.
Oh man, I remember like seeing your demos for the route theories for ceiling button. That was that was a ridiculous crapshoot of a route there. Oh man, yeah. After seeing like just the amount of sheer luck it would take to get both the cube to direct you downwards and to also not like hit it to or at least to also keep it on the button stuck like that is so ridiculous.
I did manage to get it because I completely forgot about my button glitch, like button save glitch. So, or actually I didn't know if that was a thing back then, or well, I didn't know of it. And so like my route was just insane thinking back. It was ridiculous. Yeah, that was like and it was interesting that we could never really get that cube or the Franken turret stuck on without jumping.
it always
Yeah.
seemed like it was so possible to just throw it up a little bit higher and get it stuck like that, but it just never worked.
Because like the Franken cube must not touch the ground. I swear, like otherwise it breaks. And then
I don't know. Like in
no, I think like you have to grab it before it hits the ground from the like dropper. Otherwise, like it never works. I swear.
yeah, that's
But that's just from my observations. I don't actually know if that's like a proper thing.
well. I know that in Polarity, the sickle brick monster
Yeah.
cube face hump thing, that I even then like yeah, it's such a it's a terrible, frustrating glitch to work with. But yeah. On that note, we're not going to be using that in wall button either. We were actually going to button save glitch in this chamber, but Nexus came up with a route that was pretty nice. It's just a simple route using, I guess, just the cube throw from what we basically do if we're just preserving crouch fly, just like that. But he used a couple of different things, like the Wheatley's sign to boost down, and the windowsill right over here to keep that perfect height, just hitting your head on that, boosting down here, and getting the perfect height by walking and crouching off of here to be able to get back onto here and just get through that level without having to adjust your height any further. However, the throw, neither of us got the throw first try ever for some stupid reason after grinding it. I don't know why, but for some reason that just could not happen for us. And we were in that mode that we were just trying to get this thing out. And we figured, like, I guess it wasn't like the... Oh, I do not want to skip over Polarity, Jesus. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but, like, the boost that happens in the door frame here is pretty nice.
I had to watch it a couple of times to like realize what they were doing. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, "How have you got such a perfect?"
I know.
Because I thought it was jumping or something at the start, but no, it
Yeah.
was running out of the door.
I think before someone did a segment where they like
Isn't it like?
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
it originally where you jump and then you knock yourself down off the like panels that are facing down?
well, no, you just use the Franken turret to boost you down. I think
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
fair
Yoshi
enough.
Bros, but yeah, no, it's exactly that. It is very straightforward, literally and figuratively. But yeah, you just boost yourself up at the doorway just like you do in Finale 1 to get the perfect height to bypass the funnel and to also get that height for the ending. And then we have Falcolo Rebels segment, his one of his segments, where he basically does yeah, funnel catch in one segment, incidentally. So yeah, he has a really nice cube grab there, which basically landed him the segment. I think after competing with Atomic for it, someone like that.
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
I beat the segment. I just never gave Crank a demo.
nice. It's a way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not a very amazing map to complete with least portals, especially when you have the crouch fly preserved. It is what it is. And then we have Stop the Box, which I kind of like. It's definitely a lot less straightforward than Polarity, but yeah, you just the way that I did it so that I wouldn't have to do all these adjustments with like grabbing the cube and riding down a wall with the turret or the Franken turret slowly bringing me down. I just decided to meet it in midair during the fling in order to hopefully get a good trajectory in order to land on the top level so I could do the cube throw. Yeah, and it got a really nice like path up to the top level where it only took like less than a second. Yeah, and then I was just up. That was pretty nice in the grand scheme of just I don't know, crouch fly height manipulation. Because I mean yeah, it just is what it is. But then, yeah, we just do that second segment because I didn't feel like getting that segment and also getting the cube throw, even though I was pretty okay at it. Didn't take me that long after that to get that segment. Simple little cube throw.
I hate that cube throw.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive cube throw too, since the cube can't roll off the button whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, oh yeah, just in general for sure. It's an annoying
Like in
one.
CM, you can hop to the door.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah.
You're kind of just flying there. Hope it doesn't fall off.
Now, what we could have done is we could have thrown the cube and then button save click the button
Of course.
mid throw
Yeah.
for no reason, because like you don't even see the cube.
Oh my gosh, I was wondering what your freaking last segment was, Yoshi Pro. I forgot it was this one. It's laser catapult. Okay. Yeah. I like that little hop you did at the beginning, like just optimizing it like I was doing. And then you get that freaking dialogue skip because you're a god. What a
We should
great
go back
segment.
and show Yoshi's ricochet circle jump one more time since he's here now.
I think it was pretty great through the door in the entrance right here. I thought that was a pretty nice, clean, wide circle jump. I'll show it again though because, you know, it's one to be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it how he starts it from the left. Just to be like that. Yeah.
Like he tries to go into a bunny hop and realizes, wait, I can't bunny hop because otherwise I'm
Yeah.
going to go flying into the air.
Coming out of a stupor. You're the most impressive segment, Yoshi Pro. Got him. And now we have laser catapult, or laser platform. Slightly more impressive than laser catapult. I actually really liked how I was able to just like the very last thing where I was able to get through the back part of the exit. This part, it's you know, it takes a little bit of a kind of dumb phenomenon in the game where if you have the crouch fly, or just literally at any point in the game, if you crouch but aren't fully crouched walking off of a ledge, your initial height is slightly higher than if you were to just like walk off of it or crouch and walk off of it. So you get to use that in going a lot faster than you generally would through the entire level, like or at least through the entire chamber, because you get to like, as long as you know maintain being under 300 velocity. And so yeah, I just get to go a little bit faster here and be like haha.
Yeah.
And yeah, just place that cube nice and good like. And
I remember when I had these segments, you know, a long time ago, and then you just improved them drastically.
oh yeah, and I didn't even really have to improve that part because this fly was ridiculous. Basically,
Yeah, no, like my first chamber was really slow in comparison, and the end was about the same, I think. But
on this one, I managed to get this really fast like downwards thing because
oh yeah, you did.
it was nice because like this little angle that I have right here, all you have to do is hit A and you get the perfect height after doing the half crouch off of there in order to hit this stupid ass laser. Well, like a makeshift laser receiver that functions as a hazard light there. And then these stupid little triggers in this game. It does like an almost fade out once you start descending past the funnel, but then it just realizes, oh wait, where the hell are you going? Who cares? You're gonna need some light where you're going. And so I start falling, and then we go down a little bit farther back, hit that trigger at the end here, open up the exit, and for a while I was attempting this and I was like, why am I not going through this? And it was because, yeah, you need to crouch in order to get through there, which I had no idea of until a little bit. I think it was probably not any more than 10 minutes of doing that segment until I found that out, but yeah, it was a nice little epiphany. And this chamber is super easy. All you do is get the height over here on the bottom of Wheatley's monitor, and yeah, you just go through. You I think you have to stay crouched there in order to. I forget. This route went through a couple of different changes for the height. Actually, this looks like pretty good. I think that was pretty straightforward there. I don't think I even crouched. I just had to boost myself down from the door, walk, and be good. That right there is 90 portals in. I mean, not that we haven't been 90 portals in since Laser Platform, but still.
True.
Oh, fun. Actually, now that I think about it, the last chamber is 7 portals, so we only have 3 in between then and now. And 0 portals is... I mean,
The
repulsion
last
flares
chamber
definitely
is
0.
6 portals.
Well, 7 with the moonshot.
Not according to the
Oh. Yeah.
finale 3's got 4, and then
Oh. Yeah, never mind.
finale 4's got.
I was pulling a turret factory where I thought it was 5. And I kind of snubbed this segment right here from Falcolo Rebel, where I just had that little improvement where I saved some time by again crouching off the end of, or half crouching off the end right here, and not having to walk at the end. I just basically floated in the air until I decided to let go of crouch and get back on the ground. About right here. And then I just did a little circle jump to get up and strafed my ass off to get to the thing that boosts you downwards, and there you are. Nice little ending to that chapter right there. Not too complicated. But it is a really, like, just... I mean... The thing that boosts you down just seems like it shouldn't even be there. Which is... it's just... I don't know, it's just a piece of the landscape.
It is, otherwise,
But
otherwise we'd have to fly out the map and then boost down off one of the
Yeah.
tubes or something.
Or we would need a portal. Yeah. It's
Portals, who uses those?
right. It's the things that we do to get the right height to any given situation. Or just to save a little bit of time. It's spectacular. I mean, we could have just used one of the turrets if we let him go to sleep, probably, to boost down, but yeah, it's no fun. You gotta get shot a little bit more.
Yeah. And then this is essentially just like normal SS.
Yeah, exactly. The other person talking is Jonesy, and sometimes you'll hear Portal Rex talking, if he's still here. I think he is. It's Pacific time for him. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he wouldn't be in bed.
No, it's currently 6 AM for me. I haven't.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to juggle watching your stream and studying for my math final.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Fair enough.
Don't worry, we're on the last chapter. It's nothing too crazy now. It's just a basic SS run, and really that's it. Except for, I stole all the finale from everyone in Yoshi Pro. Don't take it personally. I just saw Ralph's, and really, I mean, finale
You didn't
2.
just steal finale, you stole every other chamber in the entire game, essentially.
I stole the finale. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was a bloodbath. I don't even think I really took finale 1 by much, but finale 2 was a ridiculous optimization. Like, you had it so optimized. I really had to grind that. Yeah, just like getting across that corner. That wasn't even the hard part. The hard part was getting the perfect boost downwards with the Zy Martin stairs boost thing, which is, I'll just pause when I get to it. Right here. I just... right there. And, yeah, then finishing off the chamber without either getting boosted up too far once you hit the railing, which I'll pause again to find. You have to have that perfect speed right here so that you're actually walking on this and not boosting up to go flying up. Right here. And, yep, you just follow that through. Don't forget to not place those 2 portals at the end. And again, no continuity there, but fast segment regardless. I forget the faster finale 2 ending, actually. I remember there was one, but was that the one where, like, you 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 must have to like I forget. I think you go on the railing after the. Oh yeah, I gotcha. Wow. I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, that would have. I would have loved to have gone for that, but good lord, I can't believe I didn't know that was a thing. Because I definitely watched the segmented run. I don't know, I guess it just must have slipped my mind. I mean, it obviously did, but Jesus. Well, on that note, Finale 3. Yeah, that sounds really like who would have thunk. That's a nice optimization, I will say.
I think I'm going ahead and leave right now.
That's fine.
Alright.
I'm
See you
gonna
guys.
stop. I'm gonna stop
See ya.
talking about the optimization because, yeah, see ya. Because I can't really. I don't want to explain exactly what you mean with the, with going past the falling pipe in Finale 2. I feel like I'll just refer people to the Finale 2 that happened in the segmented run for that if you want a more optimized version. Yeah, you already posted it. And this is just my improvement of Xernicus' segment where I just boost off of the ramp as opposed. Well,
Yeah, that was so much nicer than when I first made it.
oh yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
That took. I mean, again, it's just any single given thing you can use. This just happened to be the closest, where you just boost off of that after hopefully hitting your head on the ceiling first, so you get 0 velocity as opposed to having some where it's just working against that.
Yeah.
Nice little boost down, and you get past the pipe, and you get to the floor, and that's where we still did that. So I used a different ceiling hitting my head on there so that I could actually get onto the staircase after getting past the funnel and everything, so that we could preserve the crouch fly in a nice fast manner. So we get to the stairs here, and this part was just the icing on the cake, or probably the opposite of that is what I mean for this segment, having done attempts of it, where I would always screw this up, and either this is the first point of failure. You have to hit this right here to boost down this little slanted surface here on your you have to hit your head on that, and going down you get a whatever amount of speed. You're right now I have a lot of speed actually going down for the small amount of area you have to work with to boost down, but you have to place a portal and not land on the floor, and that is a lot harder than it sounds, because for some reason you have just enough speed to the point where like you need this really dumb strafe just in order to get through that portal without doing that. But in that
You mean
segment
like,
I managed to.
You mean like standing on the portal as you're going down, like?
Yeah, so that basically you
Yeah.
aren't falling anymore and you can't hit that trigger that ends the level. You just end up staying right on there and just like, oh, I'm at this constant height, I can't do anything about it. It's kind of dumb. But it ends every single attempt except for this one that I got. And then we load right into actually I will say that for continuity I did make a save at the very end of Finale 3 in order to load into Finale 4, so that was at least consistent. But yeah, then we do the old strats from Xernicus' segment.
Well, I mean, you had to if you wanted to preserve the fly, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just the the amount of speed you have going down compared to the amount of speed that you generally have strafing into the portal. It's just an annoying little speed bump to get through when doing that. So from there, we just... Oh, let me go back to the beginning of Finale 4. So because we have preserved Crouch Fly into Finale 4, we have to kind of do a little bit of dumb stuff in order to actually get through the level, because you can't just jump up there, you won't actually hit the floor. So you have to place a portal up there still, and you have to keep this portal that, you know, it just kind of spawns at the beginning of the level. We'll say that we placed it beforehand, but yeah, it's you just strafe into here in just the right way so that you carry speed downwards, almost like a reverse conservation from the the ending of Finale 3. But I just kind of jumped up here because it seemed like it was a little faster to do that as opposed to walking on that little walkway section, just to have some air, even though you did have those two 90-degree turns, which lost me all my speed at the end of those. Either way, they were both slow, and didn't seem to really matter too much. I'm stupid right here, and I end up jumping up to the top, and for some reason not being able to find my way down ever. I just end up looking everywhere for a way to get down until I find literally the spot right next to where I was to start with, and I boost down from there.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of invisible walls I'm traversing right now. I'm not realizing that they're there to begin with.
Yeah, it does look stupid, but luckily you don't actually waste any time, so...
Exactly, there's such a cutscene. It's, yeah, it's dandy. But yeah, then we find that nice little spot right there, after having landed on something apparently to be able to crouch. Yeah, it's a little bit of a trip. And so here's the first bomb. This is like a standard for this segment. You just, or for the battle in general, you just hit the pipe, get all the gel everywhere, place that portal, and I placed the other one right here just as Xernicus does in his attempts. I had no idea like that I would be able to get the segment that I did from here. When I managed to get the cycles I did, it was totally beyond me how it happened. But that'll be in a little bit. For now, we're just dealing with the first cycle, the first round of the fight, which also was kind of ridiculous. This is a very easy part, you know, just having the bombs hit him. That's how we do it in any single segment run you see. But here, you do not know how finicky this trigger is to actually have the space core come out until you try it. Xernicus would know what I'm talking about. Anyone who tried this segment would know, but man, like, you have to, it's a total crapshoot whether this turret comes out, or the information, the core, the space core, whether it comes out based on how you're like looking and where you are. It's so dumb. But yeah, I managed to get it here, and so I continue the attempt. I put him on Wheatley, and he's a little bit more corrupt, and we continue. Now what I wanted to do here was actually a mistake. I knew that when bombs were going through this portal, and you were on the portal, you could actually get pushed through it from the bombs, and for some reason I was thinking, oh, that would make me able to get to Rick easier. Not realizing until it was too late, well, too late in a way, that if I were to have gone through that portal, then if the bombs didn't hit him, then I would be absolutely screwed for that segment attempt. But this miracle happened. I get pushed to the back of the portal instead of through the portal from these bombs, and the very next one, after literally having never happened before like this, hits him on the first cycle. And from here, I just ad-lib it as I would if I would have hit it the usual way. I hit this little panel right here that still happens to be moving a little bit, so it bugs out the momentum a little bit. I place Rick immediately, and I'm going down a little bit. I hit myself on the tube, I believe. I don't have to, so if I don't, that's understandable. Okay, I don't. So I just, yep. I'm just like at a loss here. Like, the fact that I got that first cycle was just ridiculous. And so I knew this had to be the segment, so we just go up, and we get to the information core, and we do it exactly, or basically exactly how Xernicus did it, where you just grab the information core and drop him, and have yourself a good time. And yeah, that's the end of the fight. And from there, I just like knew the run was just over. and it was really nice. I mean, not that this was the last segment, but just that this was the last like the coup de grace of the run, basically, as a segment. We ended up improving a couple of things here and there, but yeah, it was one of the last segments to be gotten. Definitely the last one I planned on getting at the time. But yeah, not spamming portals here because that would be bad. And yeah, I'm just moving around a little bit. And yeah, can't fail this. I just do a little boost off of Wheatley and go through the portal. And just like that, and that is it. 99 portals thus far, and one more to go. And yeah, that's essentially it. That is the entirety of the Portal 2 100 portals run for the single player campaign.
Yes.
And that's it. Cut.
4 years in the making.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been a trip, as I'm sure I've said before. We have a little bugging out from the frames right here, which is quite alright because, I mean, yeah, it's over at this point. Should we play the credits?
Yeah, it's up to you.
I don't know. I'm pretty damn tired right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, we've been going at this for nearly 3 hours, so...
I don't really have much more to say about it. I'll try to think if I have anything in my brain that has yet to be said about this run. Other than, I don't know, I mean, not every segment was perfect, but just to have it have all... it all happened. That's what definitely...
Yeah. A lot of the segments were very hard to get in some cases, and almost entirely random. So it doesn't come down to player skill in quite a few cases. So
yeah,
doing in a lot of the segments we did maybe 2 or 3 attempts before we'd reset, just because it saved hassle in the end, and that's one reason why it wasn't as polished. And especially after getting some hard trick and you try to bunny hop, and with the nerves and things, that you've just got a very hard segment, and it doesn't always come out as smooth and as crisp as
exactly. Yeah, there's so many that are just like that, and I don't mean to take this time to just like to complain about people complaining. It's overall, I hope that people just get that this run was just something to be enjoyed for the segments that did happen that were quite like just miraculous, and hopefully explaining them all really
in some cases
enlighten people that would have not otherwise known ever.
Yeah, in some cases I think some of the segments were the first like least portal it had been done, especially in the later segments, because no one had really like taken like say fly through the entire levels, and obviously you can't do that in challenge mode. So
yeah,
some of these were the first, and also a lot of these segments were done back in 2014. So obviously styles change and people change.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we ended up having changes of hearts on like whether or not to use button save glitch. We ended up trying to continuously use as little segments as we could, and there was a couple
just for rendering's sake more.
Yeah, seriously, just like we didn't picture having the blank slate rendering that Crank kind of offered when it came to just getting all the segments out there like that. He just really wanted to see it released, and I'm glad he wanted to, because otherwise, hell, we still probably would have been...
I mean, I tried rendering a lot, and like, it's especially in 1080p and 60 FPS. That's like, I think you said you had about 3 terabytes of
6. I mean,
was it 6 terabytes?
Yeah,
Shit.
it took actually 6 hours for the entire thing to he said it was an ETA of 6 hours to go from me to executable in the form of a torrent for the run to be uploaded. So
wow,
it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, and glad we were able to sit through this commentary. I hope maybe the same thing can happen for a couple of other runs that get released. The Aperture Tag run, maybe a Mel run in the future, perhaps the Zype directed new segmented run if that ever comes out. If we decide to do some least jumps run, like I think someone was trying to direct.
The crouch percent, crouch percent.
Yes, got to do no crouch percent or all crouch.
All crouch.
Whichever.
Actually, I don't even know if it would be possible to beat the game with holding crouch, because I think you have to jump at some point, don't you?
Oh yeah, no, you
Somewhere.
do. It would definitely be least jumps. It's fun. But yeah, that's for now. That's the commentary that we have for the least portals run. I think we basically covered everything and more with this. And yeah,
Yeah. And I guess we can leave some links below your videos to some more in depth in.
oh, for like any tutorials that you would need
Yeah.
otherwise. Yeah, we can do that.
Well,
There's a couple of
yeah.
them that oh my god. I think we'll do that as people ask for them probably.
Yeah.
Or we can start a list going now after the video cuts. But yeah, thanks for watching this all. I'm glad that anyone who did watch has this kind of an interest in a run that really I mean the fact that it even came out is pretty phenomenal in and of itself. And I'm glad it did, because there were so many things that we worked really hard on getting out here. And
Yeah. And
yeah.
just overall, generally, some of the levels or chambers just look so beautiful with all the strats and how smooth it is. It's I'm just so glad it's finally out.
Right. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, and yeah, we'll try to try to have this uploaded in just about. I don't know if I could have it uploaded in an hour. I doubt for a 2.5 hour thing that's gonna happen, but either way, yeah. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys at some other point for some other run, some other time.
Yeah.